Hiya. I might try to do these wee videos as often as I can. It's like a wee video journal. It's quite nice. Don't know, I think the whole reason behind them for me is just to be express myself in some way freely, and I like to document, so it's relevant to the way I'm viewing life from this point in time. I'm a wee bit somber, like it's currently 3 o'clock right now in the morning. There's riots going on in Belfast today over the Sudanese man that was arrested for the stabbing attack, and there's been multiple riots or protests as they were being called. They set a glider on fire, multiple cars, burning tires. I was looking at my wall there a minute ago, and I was just sitting in silence, much like now if I stop talking. It's very quiet. There's not a lot of noise outside. I don't really know how to I don't really know how to comprehend the racism and stuff, because obviously I'm not being affected, which is an amazing privilege. And a friend of mine reposted what a privilege it is to have stability, to not be attacked or not be targeted because I'm an immigrant or because I'm not white, essentially. When I was younger, I used to wish everyone, like, it used to confuse me when I was younger. White people just couldn't be happy with letting other people exist. Like, why it had to be an issue. Obviously, some things are more complicated, and you understand, like, you realize they're more complicated as you get older, I suppose. But I think I still haven't really let go of that core question I had, which is like, why can't we just not accept other people? And I suppose that's something I can only ask from somewhat of a privileged background. Coming from, what first comes to mind is the fact that I come from a very loving and safe environment to grow up in and develop, and a very non-bigoted environment. My family I've never grown up around such ideologies in my home life. And maybe those are the things. I'm speaking as someone who is not well educated in the politics of current affairs, both regionally and both nationally and internationally, which also has made me question, do I have a moral obligation as a member of society and a young developing person to become educated in such areas? Or should it just be enough like to comprehend like the full legalities and complexities of the issues at hand? Or is it enough to just treat other people as I wish to be treated? And to circle back to why maybe my point of view is from a privileged position, because I've never in my life felt threatened by people of a colour of skin different than mine, people who speak a different dialect or language, people who have different cultural beliefs, different cultural traditions. Me personally, I've been encouraged most of my life to seek out people who are different culturally, to seek out different cultures and to learn from other people. And I've been inspired, and I have many of my close friends are foreigners. I am a foreigner to them. Anyway, I won't waffle on about that there. I don't want to be misconstrued for just saying just going on and on about the same thing without adding any substance to it. I don't know, I just thought I would get my thoughts out on this, because it's very disturbing. I'm sitting very quietly in my room, food in my belly, clean clothes in my back, money in my pocket, enough money in my pocket, bills paid for, heat, hot water, hot food, walls, and that's fine. That's okay. I'm allowed to have those things. But I don't necessarily know how to put it in the words the way I feel about it, what I'm about to say. But somewhere in Belfast, multiple locations in Belfast, from what I gather from seeing the reports today in the media, is that there are now children and families no different from me and my mother and my brother and my sister and my father. There are families who may have been severely injured, may have lost someone tonight, and if they're lucky enough to have not had either of those happen, they've lost their home. Their home is burnt to the ground. Sorry. I'm not sorry. It's a perfectly reasonable reaction. I don't know. I just thought I'd get my thoughts out there. Constantly feel like I have to justify them, which is a weird thing. I suppose it's something that'll wane off through the years. Yeah, I can't imagine not like watching my house go down in flames. Because now, because now someone who that has happened to in Belfast tonight, whether they're given shelter by someone, by a neighbour, they now have no bed. Something as simple as that. They'll never sleep in their bed again. They'll never have the same room again. They'll never have the same home. It'll never be the same. And yeah, things can change, things can be rebuilt, but I don't really know how to describe it, as I said. All I'm really imagining is if my house, if my family home, where I've lived most of my life, where I've been part of so many family memories and gatherings, where I've had so many fights and so many hard lessons learned and so much joy, just gone, literally to ruin ashes. I don't know. To anyone who has been affected by the bigotry and the violence in Belfast and elsewhere, of course, it's not. Nowhere deserves special treatment. I'm sorry. I hope, if I can speak freely, if I can speak frank, if I can be frank, if I may be frank and speak freely, just I would love nothing more than everyone just to get along. And obviously, like these, this is this is a part of life. Unfortunately, this is part of the world we live in. It's not all of it. This is just the hardest part of it, and this is just one of the hardest parts of it. And I'm saying that from someone who's not affected by it, not directly, which is a major privilege. And I think that's why I feel like when you're not, but yet you preach about loving other people and treating other people with fairness. I think if that's the kind of person you want to be or you portray yourself to be, you either do one of two things. Stop lying if you don't do anything about it. Someone once told me there is no point complaining about an issue if you do nothing to help contribute to its resolution. So then you've got two options. You either stop complaining about it and stop lying, or you start doing something about it. Do what you can, like you do what you can. And you don't necessarily need to know how to do everything. Just do what you can. Kind of lost my train of thought there, but yeah, lost my train of thought. If I may speak freely and honestly, I would love nothing more than everyone just to be treated with decency and humility and compassion. It is a harsh reality that violence and bigotry occurs. I don't think it could ever be extinguished, because where there's good, there has to inherently be bad. Otherwise, there would just be nothing. There would be nothing to compare it to. So when there's peace, there's also conflict. And I think that has been evident throughout time. The only thing that I can think to do presently, at the very least, is just, at the very least, be aware, and then step up from that. Treat everyone that you interact with regularly and on a one-off everything from regularly to a one-off basis from now on. Just treat them with basic human decency and respect and compassion. You don't have to be on your knees for everyone. With empathy and enthusiasm, but you really don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what people have been through. Yeah, everyone has their own struggles, but I don't know. This just the stuff that happened there deeply disturbed me, and I just wanted to share my thoughts on it. I suppose that's better than just kind of sitting with it and letting it fester. Actually going through your thoughts and thinking about them and processing them and analysing them. But the one thing I'm keeping in mind is the fact that I remember what my friend reposted. It said the only difference between, it was along the lines of, the only difference between me having my house raided and burned tonight and an immigrant citizen of Belfast. That wasn't the exact term used, but someone who's not from here initially is luck. I could have been born in a war-torn country, a third world country. I could have been born an immigrant in a country or city full of bigots, and unfortunately have something like this happen tonight and be affected more directly than I am. But yeah, I think I got some message across anyway. Just please take care of each other. Please take care of yourselves. What benefit? What benefit is there from hate? Like, what long-term benefit is there from hate? Sleep tight.